early monsoon season in 1970, Staff Sergeant Franklin D. Miller, a seasoned recon team leader with MACV-SOG, was assigned a mission to locate and extract a high-ranking ARVN defector rumored to have knowledge of an impending ambush on U.S. convoys along Route 547. The trail was ancient, used by the Viet Cong as part of the Ho Chi Minh network, and it pulsed with enemy movement like blood through a vein. Miller's team, codenamed Raven's Teeth, moved through the thick underbrush, praying that the leaves wouldn't whisper too loud. They found a hideout half buried in a rock outcropping and guarded by a skeleton crew of NVA scouts. What followed was less a firefight and more a ghost battle, silent, swift, and surgical. They took down the sentries without a single bullet fired, but the defector wasn't there. Instead, they found a cache of documents, photographs, and a dying American POW, emaciated and barely clinging to life. Dog tags crusted with jungle rot. Sergeant Leon Grady, MIA for 11 months. Miller didn't hesitate. The mission changed the moment they saw Grady's eyes flutter open. They built a stretcher from bamboo and vine and moved north, deeper into enemy territory to avoid backtracking into known VC encampments. The jungle closed in tighter with every mile, and radio contact was impossible. Rations dwindled, insects nested in their boots, and morale cracked like the leeches they peeled off every morning. On the sixth night, while setting up a defensive perimeter, they were hit by a mortar barrage followed by a company-sized assault. Miller took a round to the thigh but barely flinched. He directed suppressive fire with one hand while dragging Grady behind a fallen log with the other. His team was outnumbered 20-1, and the jungle had turned into a blood-soaked maze of smoke and death. That night, under a torrential downpour and with his wound infected, Miller rigged an emergency signal beacon from a busted PRC-25 radio and a flare round. He climbed a sheer rock face, lashed the beacon to a lone tree standing like a sentinel above the canopy, and for 2 days they held the ravine, rationing the last of their water and watching Grady slip closer to death. On the third day, the beacon was answered by an old Montagnard scout named POW, who brought news. A medevac was inbound, but it could only land if Miller marked the LZ from the valley floor. Miller didn't ask permission or wait for consensus. He picked up Grady, went alone through the jungle, wrapped him in wet foliage, and fought with imaginary troops to draw fire away from the bird. This mission, buried under layers of top-secret classification, was never fully declassified. However, those who knew him say that it was the moment Miller ceased being a man and became a myth. It lived instead in whispered stories, passed from veteran to veteran, like a sacred flame kept alive for those who know that true heroism is often silent, savage, and unseen.